Hello, welcome to Iggy's Toy Parade and Soldier Review. This is your host, Iggy. Yay. Thank you for that. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we're going to take a look at toy soldiers from a company called Toy Soldiers of San Diego. This is set number 25 of their Alamo series. And if you're aware of Toy Soldiers of San Diego, you know that they've been producing a line of Alamo figures for quite some time now. What's nice about these figures is that they actually have on the bottom of the figure, except I can't see it. Is it upside down? No. It says where it's made. It also says who makes it and the date, which I like because it makes it so much easier to identify things when they have that information on there. This set was available in a header bag. And for those of you who are not familiar with that term, a header bag is basically a card like this with a plastic bag underneath it filled with the figures. And it's referred to as a header bag. And it's got this puncher here so that hobby stores and whatnot can hang it up on a peg. Now, this set is called Hand to Hand Combat, and it features a number of interesting figures, such as this one here is a Texan, or Texian as they used to call themselves, firing over the battlement down into the crowd of Mexicans attempting to scale the wall. This came with two of these figures. Now, these toy soldiers are made of a harder plastic than, say, a Marx figure. They're cast in what I call Confederate gray and the Mexicans in Union blue, which is a reference to Marx playsets, particularly their Civil War playset. So you say that's the gray color that Marx used for their Confederates, and the powder blue is what they used for their Union troops. Marx would use these colors for many different play sets. There's a figure here of a Texan throwing a stone over the wall, or perhaps a adobe brick over the wall onto the heads of the attacking Mexicans. This figure here, it came with his hand. You inserted a piece. Let me see if I can find it. Here we are. You could change the pose by inserting one of these knives or a pistol. Now, these fit very well with the Texan figures. However, with the Mexicans, I had a great deal of difficulty trying to get the hand into the slot. That probably could be remedied with an X-Acto blade, and maybe if you're brave enough to super glue the part to the figure, if you've decided how you would like to display them. Now, there are some damages due to these items having been in storage. For instance, this one here, you can see here, he's bent at the ankles and he won't stand up. However, on the card itself, it gives you a tip on what you can do to fix that. It says here, to straighten any figure part, dip in hot water, then into cold water. Here's the address for Toy Soldiers of San Diego. Fallbrook is a town near San Diego. And this says that it's an adult collectible and it's not suitable for children. which we all knew, but there are people that don't know that. We call those people morons. Okay, now in the background here, I have an illustration from a Time Life book about the Texans, the final moments of the siege of the Alamo. There is some controversy as to how Davy Crockett died. There's some that say that he died fighting. You could make that presumption here. And others claim that he was captured and then killed. There's an excellent book about the Alamo by Walter Lord called A Time to Stand. And even though it's dated, the book is probably 60 years old, it still stands up. There is new information being revealed in recent years about the Alamo battle, primarily Mexican sources. Diaries and whatnot of officers that participated in the battle have been revealed, and so that's also helping. It seems that Davy Crockett was captured and then bayoneted at the end when they killed off all the prisoners that had people that had surrendered. How does he die in the John Wayne Alamo? I think he blows up the chapel. He throws a torch or something into the chapel and blows it up. It's been a long, long time since I've seen that movie, so I'm not positive. But that would seem like a typical John Wayne way to go. Out with a bang, as they say. So it's a pretty cool little collection of figures. It would be useful to add to your Alamo set. Now, if you have the BMC Alamo Chapel, that would be perfect for these figures. And I personally have a Mark's Alamo playset, which I don't think I ever showed you because it's still in storage. One of the few things that I never got to. At any rate, I try and keep these figures separate from the Mark's figures. I want to display the Mark's figures as you would have seen it if you had gone to Sears or May Company or I don't know if Montgomery Ward's did that, but they would put it on a board and display the whole playset on a board, which I hope to do with my Mark's Alamo. The BMC Chapel is more detailed and looks more like the real chapel than the Mark's. The Mark's Chapel is made of tin and is kind of a shoebox sized item. The little bump on the top of the chapel that you see here, that wasn't added until after the battle. So during the battle, this would have been not present. It would have been like right there, I guess. I've been to the Alamo in person a couple times, 3 times, 4 times. I'm not sure exactly. I mean, I've got a really cool picture of myself standing in front of the doors right here. And I have big sideburns, so I look perfect. By the way, sideburns were not popular at the time that I took the picture, but I've never been one for style. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed taking a look at this Toy Soldier San Diego Alamo hand-to-hand combat set featuring Texan civilian soldiers and Mexican infantry soldiers. They're very well sculpted, although, oddly enough, this fella here, you may dispute this on my behalf. This is an opinion. He doesn't look like a Mexican to me. I suppose he could have been one of the descendants of a Spaniard, but Uh, I was thinking that those guys would have probably been officers, but I don't know. I'm having a good time trying to keep these from falling over. Here's one of this is what I was talking about, where you can place a sword in his hand or a knife. You see that? Unfortunately, the hole is not deep enough to prevent the part from falling off, so you'd have to actually super glue it in there. I think I have another example of how you need to dip it in hot water. Is it this one here? No. I don't see it now. Is it this one? Yeah. Notice that. He's leaning way over, so you can't stand him up. I'll demonstrate. See that? And then there's one here where it looks like the hand is going to break off because it has the plastic looks highly distressed. See that? The white? That shows that this has been bent. And I'm going to have to be very careful when I try and straighten that out. The detail on these, of course, are better than the marks, but that's unfair to compare them. Uh, Sculpting standards for toy soldiers were a little less exacting than they were in the 90s and 2000s. In the 60s, the kids, they didn't know. My favorite figures in the 1960s were the Civil War figures. I thought they were well done, and they still hold up to this day. Okay, guys, we'll take a real close-up look because that's what you came for, was the soldiers. What's this guy over here doing? Oh, this is the one of them that has a plug-in hand. And I put a pistol in his hand there. And here's the figure that I mentioned. I thought I had one where I got here's two that you can see. I thought I put a sword in his hand, but it looks like it's not. It fell out. Yeah, it did. Here's two swords, so it fell out. Like I said, they fit better on this one than this one. I don't know why that is, but that's not a really big issue, guys. You can easily fix that. Super glue and X-Acto blade, and you're good to go. Okay, guys, that's it for Iggy's Toy Parade and Soldier Review. I think next I'll be showing you a Marx CTS wagon in a darker gray color. And then after that, what do I have to show you? I think I have Sioux Indians and some U.S. cavalry figures made by Paragon. Paragon is distributed, I think, by Hobby Bunker. Although I think Hobby Bunker sells these too. All right, guys, that's all I've got for you. I want to thank you for getting Iggy with it. For those of you who've recently joined the Iggy Army, I want to thank you and welcome you aboard. We have some more soldiers to be sharing with you in the next couple days. Probably will get through all of them before the end of the year. And then I want to share with you a castle that my friend from the Army gave me, and his wife picked it out. So I thought that was pretty cool that she did that for him. And I look forward to sharing it with you. All right, guys, that's all. So I want to say happy trails. Remember the Alamo. I used to be on the wrestling team in high school because I wanted to do something athletic, but I wasn't athletic, so I did the wrestling team. By the way, I was the worst guy on the team. I won one match and I tied one match, and that was it. Iggy was just not violent enough to do it. Anyway, and too weak. I weighed 132 pounds. Now I weigh 280, I think is what I weigh now, 280. So Iggy was just outclassed and had the wrong attitude. But anyway, why did I bring that up? Well, there was this Mexican guy on our team, and his battle cry was, "Remember the Alamo." And of course, when a Mexican says that, it changes the meaning from when the Texans were saying it. By the way, did you know there was Mexicans fighting on the Texas side at the Alamo? A lot of people don't know that. Anyway, he would yell out, "Remember the Alamo!" And then that was his battle cry. He was funny. Anyway, that's all I got for you. Happy trails. We'll meet up at Roy Rogers Ranch. We'll have a barbecue. We'll talk about old times, talk about some of our collections. And hopefully some of you will bring yours so we can set them up and shoot them down with rubber bands. That's all I got for you guys. Thank you. Take care of each other and be good, all right? Bye.